rehabilitated ourselves and listened to some music for 5 minutes. All right. Never produce work that is of a lesser quality than you desire to suit a low-level audience. So what you do is alienate yourself from the higher level intelligence in the universe. So I'm like hearing James Cameron coming in, going, I want you part of my team because of the way that I produce my work. Instead of it being like the dragon egg, and there's like one dragon egg, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, part 6, part 7, part 8, part 9. Okay, so like the quality emanates in the character and what is produced. So this is very relevant in life because what you're trying to manifest, because he's like, go Pandora, and I'm like, me and Lucifer are gonna build Pandora from scratch, okay? Like in the real world. So there is like a coherence of teamwork and ideologies that match. That kind of level thinking. So James Cameron took 10 years to build Avatar. So it's Dragon Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4, Part 5, Part 6, Part 7, Part 8, Part 9. So he knows what it actually is required to produce that level of work. Instead of it being like, yeah, I'm going to be a psychic or a magician, and I was just all over the place. Cheap. So that's for like normal people that don't get anywhere in life. Okay, so there's that. So if you want to do really good stuff, you need to do the real work. And that's like when we talk about an archangel has to produce the books for 300 dragons. That's a requirement because that's how many pages is required to produce that amount of change in the etheric energy on the planet. And that's what's required for an archangel. So, like, tell Misty Copeland, after watching her documentary, she didn't have to go do all the crazy conditioning and micro fine-tuning of her muscles to just heal everything in a symmetrical fashion. Tell that to her face. And then you realize how much you cheap yourself out to produce mediocrity. So I kind of produce mediocrity in my graphic designs because I'm like on a schedule and I have 1 month to get 50 things done while I'm under attack, and then downloading and writing and producing everything as well. But overall, it's not crap, you know? So we're going to talk about Dimension 26. So we did Dimension 25, and now we're doing Dimension 26, Vortex Polarity. And so that's the component we're talking about now in producing quality. So the basis of this planet is producing zero quality. And that's why, like I'm working on a broken computer. It cost me $4,000 that I still can't even pay off. Okay, so there's not a real deep integrity of quality on the planet. Some of the artists do really good quality work, and I'm just listening to Gregory Alan Iskoff, and like the depth of his soul and his music is really good quality, and the production level is good quality also. And so I'm remembering something Roy produced because I wanted him to produce healing time for the planet, and he produced it, but it wasn't a good quality. And I really wanted that song to be in the mainstream, and he hasn't done it at that level yet. I've also had other people telling me that they want to pair with me to create an Ascended Master school. And I know that this Kabbalah class is a haphazard, like, this is our scratch template, so that we take from this and then we build the really good stuff after we create the healing. So we go from like negativity and disease and destruction into like life, and it's still, so it's a polarity shift. So that's where we're at in vortex polarity. So nothing. So Kabbalah 9, if you ask an artist to produce a sketch, a rough draft sketch, that's what Kabbalah 99 is. And we're doing it from the base of the Klippeth. So this is a very rough sketch of what we're going to do for Kabbalah 99 3/4. And there is where we deal with the sophomoric or sophomoria disease, where we think we know things, and we're like, it's a masturbation year. And then the mastery, or like the more like senior thesis, will be like Kabbalah 400. And that will be more appropriate down the road for everything. But that's like life. that's a path. So if you think in those kind of long-term ways, where somebody was making a statement that my thoughts are geared more towards how do I create the immortal return to the Garden of Eden on Earth, then how do I make a buck? And you have to understand that that's where Lucifer is, and that's where the dragons are, because that's what will free them, where they can live in not a psychosis trap with humans and the destruction on the planet and the litter and the FGM and sex crimes. Like, okay, so it's something to really think about. Dimension 26, vortex polarity. Get that going through your body. And the people I hang out with dragons are like high quality people. Dragon people. And they like soul and long term. Somebody said their Patronus charm is a duck, just like Elijah's. So the duck Patronus is really nice. If you're a crazy, chaotic person, the duck is like simplicity and taking one step at a time and living in the now and flowing through life, where you're not in ego space and you're in like a journey. I'm gonna go on my journey space. And a dragon totem is something totally else. Okay. 26. Somebody asked me, does James Cameron knife rape? Like, he's never attacked me. Neither has Aaron Sorkin. So, like, there are people that have never attacked me in the astral plane, and those two people, like, are on that list. Like, Aaron Sorkin does a lot to burn, and, like, James Cameron does a lot of, like, more watery, grounded energy. Okay, so it depends on the person. And Chelsea Handler doesn't knife rape. She's shown a lot of, like, self-control, and Monica Potter doesn't. They show a lot of control. They'll force me to channel them, but not in a bad way. It doesn't feel rapey that much. It's annoying, though. Monica has a disease where she tells me what's what and what to do, but she hasn't done her own work on those areas. So she's very princessy. All right. Vortex creation 27. I mentioned 27. This is like the ability to create water out of thin air. So on the dimensions, it says tears a hole in the ethers. It's mostly because you're going to manifest, you're pulling apart the etheric paradigm, which already looks like a rat's nest to begin with. like there's not real, like, look at the state of the planet and tell me that there's a healthy etheric system. So the health of we're just gridding the crystal yolk for Malkuth right now, and then we're gonna for the planet, and then we're gonna do Yesod, and even then it will still look like a haphazard mess after like 2.5 years of the crystal yolk gridding for Yesod. It will stop looking like a mess when we get to GEBURAH. And that will be like 15 years. So probably after Kabbalah 99 3/4, we'll be at a crystal yoke A&R temple, not a total disaster in the etheric world on the planet reality. All right. 28, portal sensitivity or portal sensory. I say, like, I don't even use portals. I really don't. Like, sometimes I do, like, with, like, a crystal intention grid. I don't like opening up spaces where I don't know what I'm asking for. I'm more of, like, a creator. Okay. Dimension 29, portal recognition. So I created like an ISIS portal. It was like a vortex portal with the whales. All right. To bring me to London, but there was not like, it was more like an astral portal to get me through to get to like the gates of fairy judgment in the astral planes. That's about it. Like, I'm not really a somebody's going, oh my god, we're being judged by the fairies every single minute of every single day. Yep. Like, so Hathor counsels me on this when I refuse, like when I don't want to pick up trash or do other things. And she's like, you'd pick up a way a lot more, or you'd care a lot more if you knew what I knew. So right now everybody's very easy on me because we're cleaning up all the knife rape. Somebody's asking me, are spirits hard on me? Absolutely. Like fairies will stop me in the middle of my walk and like make me do 50 push-ups, stuff like that. Because they know exactly what's required. And so they get very assertive with their desires. It's really funny when I choose not to listen to them. That it's not. I mean, it's not funny because it's schizophrenic to not listen to them because they're trying to establish a sense of communication and authority that like you need to listen to them. Like you should be bending the knee to like little fairies like almost all the time. And if you ignore them more than 3 times in a row, like there's a problem. If the fairies are telling you to go fuck yourself, you need to figure out why. So portal recognition. Okay, that's a good solid 29. Dimension 30, portal stability. Stabilized door so you can pass through. Dimension 31, opening a portal. I'm going to open up a healing portal for my vagina. So you can do things like that. For me to get better healing energy while I'm in the pit of hell. Portal uses, dimension 32. Dimension 33, invisibility. Dimension 34, visible projection. Somebody said that people have no real good GEBURAH in life. So the closest people that have established a good GEBURAH are like Ashtanga yoga or martial artists or very regimented legal specialists. So, or good military, FBI, or police. So that's good GEBURAH, but that's not the average Joe. so so good cops. So they emanate a sense of authority and like good boundary. They have a fair amount of self-control. It's peaceful rather than oppressive. Shaolin monk has excellent GEBURAH. Austere. The people who can handle austerity. It's different when you get to the bottom of the clippeth. That's like really good GEBURAH. Okay. Dimension 35, holographic awareness. I can tell the color of the floor is like this caramel golden brown. So I can see the hologram that I'm currently living. See the dirt on the floor that needs to be swept up. Okay, I can see my broken laptop computer keys. I can see everything. I can also see the astral planes. And then I can see some of the higher spiritual planes. Higher astral. When you're at the bottom of the clippeth, you got a really good base. There's no more energy undermining you. That's the point. Holographic read, dimension 36. Dimension 37, holographic comprehension. Dimension 38. Holographic setting. So I'm just imagining the yolk being poured over me. And I can feel it going beneath my feet and filling up the egg. How to set a holograph in place. Capacity to change sound and color. These are our beginning HODE programs. By the time we get to Netzach, that's where our power comes in. So real magic begins, like magic begins at Malkuth, right, with the body. And then magic, like the portals and the vortexes and the sacral, but like real magic begins at HODE, to me. And then the power comes in at Netzach, and that's where it actually becomes Slytherin. Okay. So all that's just evil until you get to the heart, and then it's okay. Holographic setting is a HODE program. So no, like the dimensions for HODE are not evil when you're in GEBURAH because you're a GEBURAH person. But the dimensions for HODE can be evil if you're in HODE. And that's why, like, HODE's closed. Yosoda's closed. Notice how I didn't close down Malkuth. Alright? So people are allowed health. Like Netzach is closed. People are allowed health and living like a muggle. Like they're allowed. They're not allowed like power or influence over the astral planes unless they're coming from Tiferet or above. This is a 5D Ascendio planet. Period. And that's Tiferet. All right, 39, holographic imprint. When you've cooked your snake brain out, you really understand how awful and evil it was. And then you go, God, no. Just zero. And then I'm pretty sure by the time, so cooking out your snake brain and like starting to get some of the A&R paperwork, like that's like a Hufflepuff. But like getting your actual, making sure you're A&R'd. Once you're there, then you're really aware of how evil you were. Like, every page I do is humbling. So 39 is holographic imprint. So we're talking about the A&R pages. So like those are, each page is an imprint onto the planet through HODE, through the program, but it's coming from a like a Gryffindor GEBURAH like approved regiment. So a confessed muggle can do their A&R pages and then come to an unconfession trial and see if they're allowed into the club. Most of the unconfession work is the same work you'd have to do for the planetary service to begin with, so it's not unreasonable. The payouts suck though. You want to knife rape people in the astral planes or force channel on them and then like not do the clearing work. You're like, okay, dimension 40, holographic manipulation. This is where the hermaphrodite teaching is. Piecemeal characters join beings into one. Holographic projection. Here we start with Netzach. This is a Netzach code, but it's a this is this is where we kind of start with Netzach. Holographic projection, bilocation. Shapeshifting. Mention 41. Okay. Mention 42, kinesis. So from the bottom of the Clipith, when I get here, I start becoming more conscious or cognizant of my inability, but ability to possibly be able to start moving things with my chi and my energy. And that's rad. That took a lot of clearing work to get to. But now it starts to feel grounded instead of psychotic. Before I would like play with the idea of kinesis and it just seemed psychotic because I wasn't at the bottom of the Clipith having processed every single inch of like shadow or unrooted energy. And then energy kinesis, dimension 43. So moving energy from electrical wires, food and fridges, like Shakti transference. Okay, then we go thoughts. Dimension 44. Ability to put thoughts in someone's head. So I did a lot of that. We did a lot of that in GEBURAH online. We're programming people to get their ANR. We're also programming people to heal Elijah and put him back together. Even if it's like through a rebellious way. Like we're taking away Harry Potter. So like then people want to send healing energy to him. So there's a lot that is happening right now. We're also introducing him as a resurrected Osiris on the planet. And to do that, you have to battle like 8 billion crazy people that have like zero intelligence. So we're having to remind others that some of us have really old souls and we were once other people. So we gotta clean that up. So like Stacy, I know, was an old deep high priestess of Egypt, and Kelly was Mott. So when she comes with her giant feather wings that looks the same as mine, when we're at the bottom of hell, and she's like, it's amazing. No one else does that. So the bottom of hell, it's as above, so below. So if you're doing it at the bottom of hell instead of being a knife raper, like, it's because you're doing that in heaven. I don't do the other way around. I do it from the hard place, and then it reflects into the heavens. The heavens are like not discernible. Discernment is here in the physical. So that's how I know Isla is Haniel, because she's the only little girl that could like if you watched her in the astral planes over the last 3 years, you'd go insane. You'd go, that's a ninja. And she went through crazy stuff. We had to do crazy, like I am not okay with what I saw. Her physical body should be fine right now. Her astral body was like, okay. Her physical body is still reflective of what she's going through in the astral planes, though. So, like, you can't separate that. Oh my god. And then Gracie's gonna be amazing. That thing is like. McKenna's gonna be like the lawmaker of everyone. These are all their personalities in the real world, and it reflects in the astral plane. It's amazing. All right. Okay, so dimension 45, words. Same thing. So we use thoughts and pictures and words to create movement forward. Did people understand where like Slytherin begins at Netzach with these dimensions? Plus all the other stuff. What other stuff? Oh, all the reptile, nature loving, like, I don't want to cook in the sun. I don't want to cook out my snake brain. Like, I like the idea, like, nature is everything. I'm never going to become better than the status quo of, like, the evil surrounding nature. So, like, Tiferet overcomes nature. So, like, Netzach. Like, Netzach's beautiful, but it's dark. And then it can get really perverse. And then we have concepts. So we did a lot of this dimension. I mostly use this when I'm talking about like the resurrection of Osiris. And then rehabilitating an old broken person. To become Simba for the planet. You have to understand it's not easy. He's for 34 years stuck in a psychosis prison of being a famous icon based off of like superficiality and like narcissism and like grotesque ideologies surrounding the artist community. Okay, so instead of nature loving, Kabbalah taking, self mastery oriented, humanity transcendence. So we're taking somebody and beating him down and go ascendio. And that doesn't work overnight. And then finding out that he was Aleister Crowley was a whole other ballgame. So he picked up this lifetime, or he left off last lifetime. At least the last decade. All right. Internal, dimension 47. Dimension 48. Bone graphing. So you should be, if you're a Ravenclaw, you're gonna go into the Hashmalim. You should be asking for the bone graft for the Hashmalim side. If you're thinking you're like, I'm gonna go across the abyss, like prove it. so you have like 20 years. You have like 20 years of bone grafting for the Hashmalim side versus the Seraphim side. Know that. Remember, we're not even teleporting yet. And none of you are like properly A&R marked. And none of you have aura levels, so some of you might be like crossing the abyss in your spiritual body. But you have to like look at Hogwarts and like see where you are in your magical talents and go, yeah, no. So we're in the children's program, like before we even get to Hogwarts. So Kabbalah 99 is just the Nexus system, and then Kabbalah 99 3/4 might be like the magical system. We'll see. We're gonna do our best. So you're going to choose Seraphim side bone grafting or Hashmalim side bone grafting. And the Hashmalim's the Ravenclaw, and Seraphim's the Gryffindor. So Elaine, Stacy, and Kelly are in the Hashmalim side, and the Tara is in the Seraphim side. For the little girls that we already have that are kind of in the class, so Gracie's the Seraphim side, McKenna is the Seraphim side, and Isla is the Hashmalim side, but she's tougher than most. Maddie will be the Seraphim side, but we're not really good there yet. Noelle will be the Seraphim side, but we're not good there yet. Penny might be the Hashmalim side. We'll see. Again, we have more like... Penny's jumping up, though. Penny's energy is getting like, yeah, I'm gonna get real. There we go. From the bottom of the clip it. That's nice. So Penny's the youngest one. All right. Some of my kids are in the Hashmalim side, and some of them are in like Seraphim side. We'll get there in life. Some people are like, we don't think that your kids were hijacked. We think that they were stolen from you. So I don't, that's kind of true in a way, but that's like a bleeding heart kind of person. And I respect that ideology, and I thank you for that level of compassion. But I know that that my kids were like birthed through another woman, like other women, and then taken care of with other families. And I have nothing against those families. Mostly the legal system that keeps me separate from like telling my kids that they're witches and wizards like that. So, and being able to like, yeah, like biological mommy knows what you're going through. So that kind of thing. So that's like illegal because it creates abuse on the children. So if they're magicians and psychics, it's like then they're medicated and labeled as schizophrenics or ADD children instead of like, yay, so like we're training them into ascended masters. Yay. All right. Bone grabbing, 48. How many kids do I think? I think I have about 8. 8 keep glowing. I might have more, but I don't know. So don't go there. Dimension 49, used in resurrection. All right, so just like this is like a clearing actually. When you're in GEBURAH, this dimension seems like nothing. There's zero abuse and there's zero like fear around it. This does not mean that I'm going to go creating a resurrection class. I don't necessarily even believe in resurrection, but like, I'd rather teach a defense against the dark arts class. That. And I'd rather teach like fairy law. Dimension 50, internal big. Move bigger things internally. So now we're in the Tiferet. So here's our healing energy coming through. Like move scar tissue, move kidney stones, move tumors, move neoplasm. Dimension 51, internal to internal. So internal client to internal you. Move from one vital body into another. How we're gonna break, I don't want to say me, but like how we're gonna break down these dimensions into a 1728 platform. We're gonna do that in Kabbalah 99 3/4, and we're gonna do it at a 2736 platform, probably in Kabbalah 400. Because we gotta start somewhere. The dragons will teach us everything. They always do. And Mother Andromeda will do it times a million. So Mother Andromeda has all the better grids. She's Rava. All right, Dimension 52. What we do not know and how we're going to do it is the 248832 series, and that's the that's Ka. like I feel Isla like because Isla's Archangel Haniel, so like I feel her like right now like going ah. Isla, she does that every time I get frustrated, and she's at the same level of frustration. Okay. Dimension 52. So she empathizes with me in my frustration, and because it's like a 5-year-old, like this 8-year-old girl. Like I don't even know how old she is anymore because it's been 3 years since I've seen her in the physical. Which breaks my heart, but like I talk to her every day, you know, like that. I talk to her in the astral planes every, but it's like it's so funny because the little girl knows exactly what you're going through. 52 internal to external. Nobody really understands that my nieces are like the real loves of my life. Unless you've been around me when I'm around them. I would do anything for them, including create an entire anti-pedo, anti-knife rape planet. Like Auntie Ray Ray will go like kill like like go I will protect you. Okay, Dimension 52. Dimension 53. Like I'm not gonna go kill little kids, but I'll go take out like adults that have like psychosis thoughts, psychotic thoughts, demented belief systems, external to external. Dimension 53. I'm seeing that we're pretty good on time. We can just make this one video, it looks like. Teleportation into chaos. Tumors disappear into chaos. Okay, so that's why Star was a knife rapist. Okay, so you don't teleport a tumor into chaos because it comes out the other end into the clippeth. And then it turns into a knife raping monster. Okay, so we don't do stuff like that in life. So like that's the sweeping the shit underneath the carpet. Like what? Masters don't sweep shit under the carpet. Ever. They get rid of it. They burn it. They master it. They throw it into the lava. So, like surrogate. Dimension 54, surrogate, using a surrogate healer. Oh God, did I do this last few months? Like taking down, healing Elijah's mold even in the bottom of the clippet so that I could live and it wasn't gonna kill me. Like, God. Construction, huge. Let that wash through. Rebuild organ as well. So like this is, you can rebuild organs with this dimension. But you also can rebuild eggs. So Humpty Dumpty can be rebuilt. Some people are like, rebuild your vagina. Like, yeah, but don't touch me. Like, don't, like, I'm a don't touch me person. Just send me Gryffindor eggs. Gryffindor lava eggs. With the Griffin blue. That are like lasagnaed. Gryffindor lava honeycomb. That's a curse removal. Help me stay in my body, connect to the lava, burn away any of the ick energy. Or you can send me the Hufflepuff honeycomb, the marshmallow goo, and the grape jelly. Okay. Removal, huge. Or the no means no jelly. Removal, huge. Remove major organs. Or like demons. So I don't really, the idea of removing a major organ seems awful. So I'm going to say demons. Remove demons. Or major implants. All right. Dimension 57, interuterine. Remove fetus, replace fetus, add fetus. Teleport ovum and or sperm for fertilization. So interuterine. So this is my true Inception grid, actually. There's a difference between Slither and like mind control and like true Inception, like thoughts and ideas and creativity ability. So I'm gonna, it's not interuterine, it's like conception. It is interuterine, but it's like, and it belongs in Tiferet because it's a healing, like true love heart. Bodily fluids, 58. Boy, am I heavy here. Someone's dehydrated, good for starvation and thirst, as well as depleted from illness. Donor, someone with excess fluids or fluids themselves. So I'm pretty heavy here because I'm using all the goos to heal my body and like clean out any of the harshness of the blades. Okay, blood separation, dimension 59. It's good for transfusions. Somebody's saying they want a crystal yolk temple for the personal dragon egg. So I'm gonna have to put that on my schedule, but I'll do it. I like the idea of that. Why don't you do it tomorrow? I can do it tomorrow. Everything's already a little bit late anyway. Blood separation. Somebody's asking me if I'm going to confess people like James Cameron. And I go, no, they have to do seventh house work with archangels. That's the Hollywood ban. So that's to prevent Hollywood from thinking that they're ascending and like they're totally narcissistic instead of aligned with the archangel community. So when they do the seventh house work, they don't have to be seventh house archangels, but they do have to do the work with them. And it prevents them from wasting their time and energy and like narcissistic agendas and like masturbation instead of like producing health education and higher philosophies that need to be downloaded on the planet. It also prevents racism. It prevents sexism. Then it also prevents nepotism. Oh no, my niece is an archangel. There's a reason why my niece is an archangel. Okay, so it also prevents like dysfunction, that everybody is or wealth divide. So it will recreate the Hollywood structure. And it will be a more thriving artistic community than this like masturbation, reptilian fame, self-indulgent world. And then everybody will actually get better. Because we love art. And we don't hate like movies, and we don't hate good music, but we're tired, like everyone's tired that we can't get what we need built on the planet because an artist wants to shoot up some heroin instead of go do a hunger strike. Dimension 60, chromosome teleportation, and like the idea that celebrities could spend money, like Kanye West buying a private jet. Okay, so like those things are confessable crimes and not service oriented for a global health system. Dimension 60, chromosome teleportation. Somebody's asking, was Kanye confessed? Absolutely. Like, and if he wants to buy out his confession ticket, he can give the money to Freeman McFadden, the head of Hufflepuff, for all the Black Lives Matter movement work that needs to get done on the planet. Freeman needs to get his marks, but he will later down the road. He's pretty good. He's been harsh in the astral like once or twice, but he's usually pretty nice. And it was nothing like abusive. It was just like, I'm setting a boundary like that. Chromosome teleportation. 60. 61, gas. This is a really good reminder for Hufflepuffers at Tiburet, like, that you guys are all just filled with hot air. Until you get, until you're A&R marked and are Gryffindor level, like, so you can dwell, but you should not. We do not wish to dwell below the wheel. Or in the middle, in limbo. Dissipation of gas and fluids, expansion of gas, diminished gas. Okay, so then we go. Here's our first dimension for Gryffindor. Yay! Levitation. Anti-gravity upward thrust. And then, so it's like ascendio. So this is where we really begin to fly. 62, levitation. Because it's the red ray, it begins to move your body into action. And so it's like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon too, where they're like flying through the air, doing kung fu. Next, we have articles. Physical integrity, stable form, location. So I'm like, articles, that sounds like A&R marks. Physical integrity. Stable form. Location, bottom. So like 63 A&R marks. $64. Oh, somebody's like, we want that 63 better. Okay. 64, life forms. Match energies, enhance energies, detract energies. So what does that mean? Life forms, match energies, enhance energies, detract energies, create life. This is where the real power begins, is in GEBURAH and not in Netzach. Like, I'm really excited when we get to Bina and the aura levels. Yeah, that will be nice. But know this. These are just the scratches of the templates. And even when we get to Bina and Kater and the whole tree, we're still probably running mostly the Seraphim energy and the Hashmolim energy. Just remember that. Levels. So you're getting like initiations and stuff. 65, others, spirits, ghosts, and entities. Okay, so this is where we go red pill fully. So you can hear every thought, every astral imprint, feel every, so it creates psychosis until you like deal with it. When you deal with it, it goes away or it changes into like living truthfully. This is also where we become team, and this is the dragons. Like you don't get to be part of the Seraphim or the Hashmolim without the dragons. Self. 66. Self. Karmic changes, positive, negative, and soul contracts. So this is where you get your power back, where you can rewrite what you're like wanting in life. Not before then. Somebody's asking, did you have a soul contract to get knife raped? No, it does not work like that. Do you need to go use the restroom?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It does not work like that. I had a soul contract to make sure that the bottom of the clip was clean. I had a soul contract to take care of the stuff with Elijah. I had a soul contract to make sure that the little kids are not going to get hurt from Slytherin karmic crimes. I had soul contracts to do specific things. And what happens is other people, so those are like generic things, and other people then attack me while I'm doing it. So contracts are not, so that's a Slytherin dogma. It's kind of, it's cruel and evil. You don't have soul contracts to get your arm cut off. You have a soul contract to complete a task and to do work. So soul contracts exist at Gryffindor, not at Slytherin. So they exist in the non-cruel zone and not in psychotic people's behaviors. I had a soul contract to make sure Lucifer and Charlie and the hell dragons were going to be taken care of and cleaned out, and that we were going to claw our way out of the galactic karmic prison, much and then the karmic prison on the planet. That. and how people chose to handle it. Unbelievable. So they don't have a soul contract to stab me. That is why they get confessed. That's a sex crime. You're not allowed to have a soul contract to FGM somebody or stab them or shoot them unless it's like self-defense, but not sex crime perversions. Those are stupid people that say stuff like that because they're Slytherins and they get confessed. All right. Long distance, dimension 67, manipulation, voice, and picture. So this is where I can heal and do stuff across the globe. I am able to do extreme energy work across the galaxy because I'm Archangel Kamael. Okay, so there's a difference. And then I work with Rava for the intergalactic work. Okay, dimension 68, energy. Change matters, forms, change energies, stabilize change. So this is also where the A&R marks that like all the metal turns to cobra acid. Unless it's nice. Unless it's our porcupine DNA wires or so like the blades. Unless you're a master with your sword. So I'm going to do an Archangel Tarot somewhere down the line with all the different sephiroths of the tree, etc. And the sword is going to be replaced with a feather. Take that. That will be nice. Through light, 69, dimension 69. Invisibility, bend light, remove used energy. So then we go down, let it get coded, 68 and 69. I'm still running 68 and I move fast, too fast. So this is where we definitely, 69, remove used energy. We turn all the vital energy in our form into vital. And that's where it's like you've passed the red ray through the bottom of the clipith and every cell in your body. Through every cell in your bone. Somebody's asking, if we clean out all the knife rape and the clippeth, do we still have to do the A&R marks? Absolutely, and we will have to do for at least the next 3 generations of people. Because it's in the mind and it's in the cellular system and it's still in the dragons. It's kind of it's psychotic to think it's going to go away overnight just because I clean it out. Like, look around the planet. All you see is litter everywhere. Anything that somebody is not going to... Okay, so, like, you have to do the marks no matter what, under any circumstance. Yeah, like, the plastic in the ocean. So we get trapped in psychological delusions of grandeur when we do light work. Like, oh my God, the whales are free. Like, no, the whales are not free. Because we want to think positively instead of like looking at the actuality of the situation. So that this will never go away for the next 120 years. That's where we're at. That kind of level of generation. Yay, A&R marks for the next 120 years. That's a mandatory requirement. So if you die and you get reincarnated, you have to do it again. So you pray that you reincarnate into a family that knows what they're doing. And like, we'll go, you need to get your marks. Instead of like dwell in Hufflepuff. And then you do it when you're a kid. You do like a page a day when you're a kid, but it's nothing, you know? And then the pages are so easy. So you could take the kid at the age of 9, 10, 2 to 3 pages a day before they're 11 and get them to do the pages. So that's like what? That's 4th grade or 5th grade and 6th grade. No. Where is it? 6th grade. What was I set? I was 12 in 6th grade. 4th grade and 3rd grade. When a kid starts sex ed? 5th grade. It's like, so you do the papers in 4th grade. Yay, 5 pages a day. Nothing. That's nothing. All right. And that's if we start Hogwarts for like 11-year-olds. And that will be, what, 5, 10 years, 20 years into the future? We'll see. Depends, you know? So it's not going to be the same. Or they can spend their entire first year at Hogwarts writing out those pages. And then there's that. It's a fun year. They'll be in a holding zone. All right. And then you kick them out if they don't get them done. The only problem with that is then, like, you don't know. You don't know. With all the violent video games and stuff out there. It's gross. Real A&R parents would have no problem doing it. And that's the reality of the situation. So 69 is done. Collie Ren out.